Okay, testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Guys, can you hear my voice? Loud and clear? Yes or no? Please confirm. Yeah. Then they're never going. So please, guys, turn on the cameras. Miren, no le gusta encender la cámara, lo que yo digo. Please turn on the cameras, please, guys. Thanks for your cooperation. Once again, thank you, Lydia. Speaker view, okay? As soon as you can see, we're changing the classroom. So we have a new camera. Let me know if you have doubts or questions, if you can see or not the whiteboard. Okay. So remember, yesterday we were talking about the last problem according from the distance of the highway. Obviously, I'm not going to copy again the question. I'm going to draw the picture once again and solve the problem. Okay. Remember, in that highway, we're supposed to have this picture. Beginning over here, we have the base over here, and we have another part over here. All right. And at the same time, connect this one, another one, and that's it. Perfect. So, estoy viendo otro detallito que aquí tiene mirror my video. ¿Mm? Vamos a ver. Video settings. All right. HD. HD. Vamos a quitar touch my appearance. And right. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo se mira, muchachos? Se mira, vaya, pues, así como que se. Oh, all right. Bueno, clase, por favor. Silencio. And remember, according for the problem, we have this is one line of the highway. This is the highway. And another line of the highway. And if we remember what we're talking about yesterday, we have a dash line located over here. Then we have a separation of 3 miles. Over here, we have a separation 1 mile, and same happened over here. 1 mile. Okay? 1 mile between them. So the next step or the next thing that we have, if I remember, according to this highway, we have a horizontal line here. Más o menos iba así. And we have another one. Just like this one. Okay? And remember this horizontal line on this for this part of the highway has an angle of inclination. In the first one was 40 degrees, and the second one 30 degrees. 40 degrees and no 140 degrees over here, and if I remember, this was 130 degrees. Confirmando, ¿se mira bien esto? Nítido, ¿verdad? Excelente. Esta sí es cámara buena. All right. ¿Y ustedes pueden ver aquí? Ustedes sí pueden leer esto. No le estorba. Ah, bueno. All right. What we have to do in this situation. In this word problem, we have to look for what will be the length of the highway around the coast. Okay. So as soon as you can see, we must create two right triangles. The first one with vertices A, B, and C. Okay. With the vertices A, B, and C. And the measures are, for example, the angle, because at the beginning, we have an angle of 140 degrees. If we subtract with 180, the answer will be 40 degrees, okay? And the distance between B and C obviously will be 1 mile. This is for one hand. By the other hand, if we create the second half of this triangle, the second half of this triangle, we have the right angle over here. We have the vertices D, E, F, and the measure will be the same height, 1 mile. However, the angle will be different because we have 130 degrees over here. Well, in this space will be only 50 degrees. What will be the keyword in this situation? The keyword in this situation, we have to looking for what will be the values of the hypotenuse and the value of the base of every triangle. Just for clarify, let's going to label like X, Y, Z, and W. Those are the variables that we're supposed to try to find out in these two triangles. And after that, we're going to solve the problem or answer the problem. Okay, X, Y, Z, and W. How we can perform that situation? For example, in the first right triangle, if you really want to know what will be the X value, we can use SOHCAHTOA. 1 mile could be useful like the opposite side, and X will be the hypotenuse. So we can use perfectly sine of 40 degrees. That will be equal to 1 mile over X. If we really want to know what will be the value from X, we'll divide 1 mile over 40 degrees. For that reason, the X value will be equal to, please give me a hand, 1 divided by sine 40 degrees. Remember, the calculator must be set up in degrees, okay? 1 over sine 40. That was 1.56, right? Okay, 1.56 miles. This is the first answer of this variable. Now, we can try to looking for what will be the value from Z. To looking for the value from Z, if you wish, you can use cosine or you can use tangent. It doesn't matter which one of them you're going to use at the end. The result will be the same. So let's going to use tangent. Tangent 40 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Because we're looking for the Z value will be equal to 1 mile over tangent 40 degrees. Okay? 1 divided by tangent 40 degrees. 1 over tangent 40. 1.19. Thank you. 1.19 miles. Okay. This is what we're talking about in the first triangle. How about in the second one? In the second one, we're going to perform the same operation. The same one. I mean, we must use, for example, sine This case, what will be the difference? Instead to use 40 degrees, we must use 50 degrees. I mean, sine 50 degrees will be equal to opposite 1 mile over hypotenuse. I mean the y-axis. So y will be equals 1 mile over sine 50 degrees. For that reason, y 1 over sine 50. 1 entre seno de 50. ¿Cuánto le dio? 1 punto. All right. Thank you. 1.31 miles. Excellent. Now, how about with W? We can use the same tangent if you wish, but this is not the only way. But if you wish, you can use cosine 50 if you want. But let's go to working with tangent. Tangent 50 degrees will be equal to opposite 1 mile over adjacent, W. So W will be equal to 1 mile over tangent 50 degrees. Okay? 1 over tangent 50. Seguro, seguro. Okay. 0.84 miles. Okay. Ok, vamos a ver. Quiero probar algo. Multiplíqueme 1.31 por coseno de 50. Ok, sí, está cheque, cheque, cheque. All right. We have the required information useful for this picture. Why is so important to remarkable this information? Because the distance between this point to this point is the x distance. That will be 1.56 miles. The another one, the y-axis will be 1.31 miles. That will be the second distance between them. Actually, the distance between this point to this point will be 1.19 miles, right? This distance. And the another one over here will be 0.84 miles, okay? And remember the angles, 40 degrees and 50 degrees. The question is, how can we obtain the middle distance between them? It's simple. Let's going to call this one like D of the distance, okay? This distance D, the displacement, can be obtained subtracting 3 miles, subtracting from the addition between 1.19 miles plus 0.84 miles. So would you like to tell me what will be the answer for that D distance? 3 minus parentheses 1.19 and 0.84. Just like this, así como está. That was 0.97. Suma, ¿verdad? Yep, 0.97. 0.97 miles. This is the value from the distance D. In simple merely words, I'm going to put this one 0.97 miles. Okay, let me fix this one. 140 degrees. All right, this is 0.97, and this is going to be 1.31. But the question is, they're not asking for what will be the distance of this one, that one. No, they're asking for what will be the length, the total length of the highway. All right. But that situation, because they're asking for what will be the length of the highway, the final length will be the addition between 1.56 miles plus 0.97 miles plus 1.31 miles. So what will be the final length? La suma de los tres. Ujú. 3 puntos. Perfecto. 384. All right. So 3.84 miles. This is going to be the solution set from the problem number 3, classwork number 3. ¿Así le dio? ¿Así le dio? El problema 3. ¿Así le dio? ¿Cómo le dio? ¿Cuánto le dio? No tan lejos, no tan cerca, está más o menos. ¿Cuánto le dio a usted? 3.04. Por ahí anda. ¿Cuánto le dio? Diga. ¿Y usted cómo le quedó? Por ahí anda. Love signs, cosine. Excelente. Muy bien. ¿Y en casa qué tal, muchachos? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo azul? ¿Preguntas?
Todo bien, mister.
Es que sí se mira brutal esta cámara. ¿Cómo la ven ustedes?
Bien.
Me parece que hasta se mira bien amarillo, bien como fosforescente, se mira el verde, ¿verdad? ¿O solo es este televisor que lo mira así como fosforescente? ¿Cómo lo miran ustedes? Excelente. Ok,
Se mira
solo,
bien, mister.
muy bien, excelente. Solo denme un minuto. Voy a ir al aula a traer el libro de geometría para explicar, ¿verdad? Los postulados que escribimos en la clase anterior. Solo denme un minutito y regreso, jóvenes. I'll be right back. Ok, ok, ok. Volviendo. Ahora sí, jovenazos, vamos a continuar con la parte de geometría. Okay, in the in the last part of the classwork, well, actually, in the last lesson before the classwork, we copy some kind of theorems or postulate according to the cosecants, and tangents, secants, tangents, and cotangents angles of the circles. Or is this special segments or circles, and when we're talking about in every situation. For example, for example, if we have one singular circle, I have no in my reach of my hand, the protractor. So I'm going to draw the circle over here. Please, my apologies because I don't have the protractor in my reach of my hand. And we draw a 2-second line with some kind of intersection point between them. Okay. And we have the segment A, B, C, B, C, D, E, D, and E. Okay. And obviously, for obviously reasons, we have infinite lines. Okay. As long as you can see, we have 2-second lines intercepting a tangential point between the form two arcs, BC and the arc BD. I'm going to paint in two colors. This one will be the blue one, and this one will be the green one. All right. According to this postulate, for the special segments of circles, we have two sequences, right? To obtain the measure of the angle 1 or the angle A in singular, it doesn't matter the position of the circles, to obtain the measure of the angle A, that will be that one half the difference between the major arc minus the minor arc. In simple merely words, the bigger arc minus the smaller one. I mean, the measure of the arc DE minus the measure of the arc BC. This is what the postulate established in every situation. I know I created you 3 different pictures, but just for summarize, the postulate will be the same for all of them. Let me give you one single example and show you what I'm talking about. For example, let me looking for one exercise. Yeah, I got this one. For example, the example number 1. The example number 1 says, find each measure. Find each measure. Okay? And I'm going to draw the first picture of this problem. Okay? So we have the circle. Once again, my apologies. The circle, we have the 2 secants line. We have one over here and another one over here. Okay? And what will be the measures? For example, we got the vertex RUT, 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 and SQ, SQ. The inside value, I mean the measure of this part, that will be around 103 degrees. 103 degrees. The measure of the arc DU will be uh, 43 degrees. 43 degrees. Obviously, we have to looking for what's supposed to be the, well, actually, to avoid the confuses, I'm going to write over here 43 degrees. So we are looking for what will be the measure of the R angle. Okay, simple. What we have to do, we must apply the formula. Remember, it's actually just for reminding. Sorry, the formula is subtract the bigger arc minus the smaller arc, and the result divided by 2, or 1/2 the major arc minus the minor arc, and that's it. So the measure of our angle will be 1/2 brackets or parentheses as you wish. What will be the bigger arc in this case? ¿Cuál va a ser el ángulo más grande? ¿Qué ángulo es este? 103, ¿verdad? 103 degrees. Minus the smaller one, this is 43. Minus 43. So, would you like to perform this operation, please? 103 minus 43, and after that, multiply by 1/2. 103 menos 43, ¿verdad? Y el resultado que le dé por un medio. 20. And that's it. This is going to be the process for this example. This is by one hand. We have another problem. Sorry once again for the quality of the circles. ¿Pueden ver ustedes aquí todavía? ¿Pueden ver allá atrás? ¿Pueden ver la pizarra, sí o no? Muchachos, muévanse un poquito para acá entonces. Córranse ahí. O sea, usted póngase ahí en el circulito acá, miren. Aquí y el otro que se... Randy, no le sale más barato ponerse acá. Digo yo, ¿verdad? O sea, para acá. Y ahí sí mira, la pizarra. Por eso le digo. Now, in the second part, we have another circle. Como les dije, me da pena hacer círculos tan feos, pero no tengo ahorita el transportador en la mano. Vamos a hacer esto y terminamos por el día de hoy. On this side, we have another one. Okay. And we got 9x plus 26 degrees over here. 9x plus 26 degrees. Okay. We got 35 degrees. And the measure of this angle will be 4x degrees. Okay? This is going to be the second one. Confírmeme si esos son los numeritos que son tan chiquitos, tan babosados. Este que está acá. ¿Qué dice ahí? Ajá. ¿Y el que está adentro? ¿Y el que está afuera? Ah, bueno, entonces sí está bien. Ando tan mal. Espere, vamos a terminar. Solo hacemos esto. Okay. So solving this problem, again, we're going to apply. Let's see if we have the angle A. Okay. So the measure of the angle A will be equal. The major arc, obviously, this is going to be the bigger one, right? 1/2 brackets 9x plus 26 minus the smaller one, 35. Obviously, multiplying by 1/2. The measure of the angle A will be 4x degrees. I mean, This number 2 is divide, passes to multiply. We got 2 times 4x equals 9x. 26 minus 35 will be 9, right? Negative 9. So 8x equals 9x minus 9. 8x minus 9x equals negative 9. Negative x equals negative 9. For that reason, x equals 9. So we got the answer for the letter X. But remember, the problem says find its measure. So in this case, when it says its measure, we're talking about the exterior angle. So the measure of the angle A is 4 times X, right? And because X has a value of 9 units, 4 will be 36 degrees. But if you really want to know what will be the next R, for example, let's see this CD, all right? If you really want to know what will be the measure of the arc, CD, the equation is 9x plus 26. I mean, 9 times 9 plus 26. I mean, 81 plus 26, and that will be 107 degrees. And this is going to be the solution set for this problem. Questions? ¿Preguntas? ¿Preguntas? Hola, jóvenes.
No,
Digan
mister.
algo. Bueno, entonces muchachos, gracias por su fina atención. Mañana vamos a seguir haciendo problemitas de estos. Gracias. Cuídense. Bye bye. So long. Take care of yourself.